Hello, everybody. Happy Easter 2023. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Sunday. Hopefully, you guys had a great day with your family celebrating Easter. And it was a good day here in Phoenix. It was a little warm, starting to get hot, actually, not just warm. It was 91 degrees today. I think that was the first time we're in the 90s, I think. But Tuesday, it'll be tomorrow and Tuesday, 98 degrees. I don't know how I feel about that. It's too soon, too early. So we'll just wait for folks to hop in. Hopefully, you guys get the notification. Angelica, hello, how are you? And hello, Samantha. Hello, Bradford. Robin, hello, happy Easter. Adventures with Sammy, Emma Gretzmucker, Stella, Laura Izazi from Wachula, Florida. Samantha, happy Easter. I'm good. Thank you. Felix, hello. Amber, hello. Happy Easter, Amber. Hopefully you're doing good. Amber, hopefully you were able to see all the well wishes and prayers that everybody's been sending to you, Amber. So continue to get well and recover and we'll definitely stay in touch, Amber. You're awesome. Alyssa, happy Easter from Colorado. Gina, thank you for popping in. Happy Easter to you and your lovely family. I appreciate you. Hopefully, you're doing good. Alma Nunez, hello. Trisha B, happy Easter. Tammy Whitcomb, Wyoming. Hello from Wyoming. What do I know about Wyoming? Not much. I'm sure it's a beautiful state. I should go there one day. Stella is in Bentonville. I'm not sure where that's at. Is that Arkansas? Bentonville? Beautiful Jess, I did have a good day. It was a little warm. I think it was what I say, 91 degrees. Yeah, 91 degrees today in Phoenix. Tomorrow's gonna be 98 degrees. My goodness, close to 100, the triple digits. It's gonna suck. Not fun. Daniel from Texas. Jesus is in Minnesota. Hello. Happy Easter. A Mexican in Korea. Marilu Madrid. Thank you for joining us, Mary Lou. Happy Easter to you and your family. I appreciate you, Mary Lou, for jumping on. Thank you, Kayla Walking Elk. Happy Easter to you and your family up in North Dakota. Stella is in Arkansas, Bentonville, Arkansas. Cool. Yesenia Velasquez, did Miga go to court? Did Migs go to court? I have no idea. I haven't seen him. Hopefully he did. Probably not though. If I was gonna bet, I would say no. Hopefully he did. I'll see him in the future. Angelica says, my uncle is in Boston. Cool. Adventures with Sammy, thank you for bringing awareness and helping these people. Blessings. Adventures with Sammy, thank you. Appreciate you logging on. Miku, baby girl, hello. Brenda, happy Easter to you too. Sarah Collins is in Las Vegas. Fernanda Lewis, happy Easter. Kat Williams, wishing you well. Thank you, Kat. Uh, yeah, hopefully you guys had a really good day wherever you guys are at, right? Some of you guys are in Florida, some are you in here in Arizona, others are in Korea, Arkansas, Wyoming, North Dakota, wherever you're at. Hopefully you guys had a beautiful day with your family, surrounded by friends, positivity, and you guys had a relaxing day, right? So Rosie is in California. Awesome. Karma Harrison is in Rochester, New York. Mary Goulion is in Ohio. Awesome. Thank you for logging in, Mary. Yesenia, Miami, Florida. Have not received an update for Jessica and her baby, but thank you, Yesenia. Stephanie letter. Happy Easter to you too. Hopefully you had a great day, Stephanie. Thank you guys for logging in. I appreciate you. Danielle Williams, happy Easter. Hopefully you had a great day with your family too, Danielle. This will be a quick chat. Just want to get on here with you guys on a Sunday, beautiful Sunday, warm Sunday here, but it's gonna be a short week for me actually too. This coming work week, so busy times. James Mitchell, hello from Ewing, New Jersey. Awesome. Sandra Martin is in California, but she did not sleep good last night. Hopefully, it's not insomnia. Hopefully you weren't partying too much, Sandra. Mary, what did I do today? I went shopping today. I had to go get a lot of stuff. Went to the pet store for Phoebe, and I went to buy some towels. I needed more towels. What else? I went to Fry's food stores and nothing but cool stuff. Art in some states, even if you don't work, don't they still have to file taxes? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if people, if you don't receive a W 2, then you don't have to file taxes. Because when you work and you receive a W 2, the IRS also receives a W 2, and they expect to you to do your taxes so they know if you owe them or they owe you. But if you're on the streets, you're not going to get a W-2 because you probably weren't working, therefore you don't have to file your taxes. So I'm not sure what the state laws are in every state, but if there's no W-2, if they didn't work, they probably don't have to file taxes. Jose Reyes, happy Easter, patriotic. Yeah, it's my little. Uh, some people call this the Paddington Bear. It's definitely not Paddington Bear, whatever that is. But I don't know if that's a cartoon. But this is just the regular little Lauren Bear, Ralph Lauren. Marie Rodriguez, I'm really good. Thank you. Had a relaxing day. It was a cool day. It went by really fast. I took a nap today too. Casey PB, thank you for logging on. I appreciate you. Dolores Cano Martinez, happy Easter to you too. Ruby, happy Easter, everyone. Hopefully, you had a great day with your family, Ruby. Don't work too much. You ever go get and shop at Fallas Paredes? No, I'm not. I've seen that store, but I don't really know what they sell in there. Why a short week? I have a couple days off this week at the end of the week, so I'm excited. Denali, Kansas City, Kansas, checking in tonight. Thank you for checking in from KC. Hopefully, you had a good Easter out there. Thank you. Wings of Wongs. Has anyone tried to sell you drugs on the street? No, they have not. Sandra Martin says, I'm stressing. One of my fur babies, he is on the last leg. Sorry if I did not say that right. So prayers for your fur baby. Okay, so that's really sad when our pets get sick and ill, right? They're like part of our family. They're like our children, and so when they get sick, it's definitely heartbreaking. And so prayers for your fur baby to get well soon. Robert Tovar, happy Easter from El Paso, Texas. Thanks, Robert, for checking in. Appreciate you. Carlotta just got home from the park. We ate and played Loteria, won a few quarters. Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun, Carlotta. Appreciate you logging in. Danielle Williams said, I tried to take a nap, but didn't happen. I ended up mopping floors. Danielle Williams is very efficient. So, Danielle, you're awesome. Um, Jeff, You guys know Jeff. He's from Ohio. He's a big supporter of the channel. He's been with the channel since the beginning. He's a super fan, and like most super fans have my personal cell phone. So he wanted me to text him. Was it yesterday? Yeah, he wanted me to text him. Hey, he texted me and said, "Hey, Art, you got a minute to talk?" And so I called him, and he said that he was asking for some prayers. His wife is ill, and it seems the doctors came back that it could be something very serious. So I'm asking you, the 94 people that are in here, you guys are all subscribers. If you guys can send a prayer for Jeff's wife, Melissa. She's not feeling well, and it might be something serious. So we'll pray. We'll pray for her to get well, and we'll pray that she receives good news from the doctors, and they can figure out how um, they can make her feel well. Okay, so that's for Jeff. Really good guy, and really, really good guy. So if you guys can help me with that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay, so I texted him and I told him that I was coming on live, so he might pop in here or maybe not because he's, I think, probably a couple hours ahead of us, so he might be asleep. But in any case, he'll watch this and he'll know that we're all praying for him. Okay, so prayers for your wife, Jeff. You're an awesome dude. Jeff is has been in recovery for many years, and he said that his wife was there for him when he needed her, and so now she needs him. So he reached out to me to let you guys know, the Lost in Phoenix family, to please keep him and his wife in your prayers so that we can get good news. Okay, so on this happy Easter. We don't always get the good news that we all want, but again, for anybody here feeling down and wanting a prayer, just let me know if you guys need this Lost in Phoenix family, this community to rally behind you and let you know that you have somebody in your corner that supports you, that is thinking about you, that loves you, and we do care tremendously about the people that log on, and we get to know you, right? You get to know me a little bit. I get to know you. We all get to know each other because that's what part of being a family is about, right? So yeah. Um, did anybody go to a park? I didn't go to a park. Um, Ms. Crazy, hello G, just passing by to let you know you are doing a great job. Your kindness and respect for those in need out there is definitely something deserving of love. Ms. Crazy, thank you very much. Ms. Crazy is an artist. She is an artist and she makes music. And thank you. She has a big following. Thank you, Ms. Crazy. One of these days, if you ever want to let me interview you, I want to know how these videos impact you and what message we can get out together. Okay, so um, I'll try to get a hold of you with your email. But thank you very much for logging on, Ms. Crazy. I know you're busy with all the stuff you do, and I know you have a big heart. Ms. Crazy has a big, big heart for the less fortunate, for the people out there in the streets suffering. And she's been following this channel for like 2 years, over 2 years. So, Ms. Crazy, thank you very much. You are awesome. We'll talk soon. Adventures with Sammy. I went to church, very fulfilling. Uh, that's awesome. I'm glad you went to church. I'm glad you had a good day, had a fulfilling day. Uh, we all need to go to church more often and get grounded and be more spiritual and think I think religion is a good thing. It kind of it grounds you. It keeps you anchored and centered. You know, well, there's different religions. You know, you believe in something, right? As long as it makes you a good person, right? So, Ruby Acevedo, hello. Thank you for logging in. I appreciate you. Stephanie Linkletter says all the babies are sick, but we still had a good day and feeling blessed for sure. Awesome, Stephanie. I hope your babies get well, 100% recovered soon, and the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of the year gets better for you and your family. Sometimes there's illness, right? My mom was recently ill, and she's getting better. She thinks she had pneumonia, but she beat it. And please stay healthy, right? Exercise, eat good, don't stay out too late, don't party too much, don't no smoking, no, not too much drinking. You know, I'll have a beer once in a while, but I don't drink excessively. Um, so everything in moderation. I think we're talking about that recently. Okay, so yeah, a Mexican in Korea says, yeah, my 8-old is under the weather too. So I was recently that I do not like when children get sick or children suffer, children are in pain, just like animals. I don't like when animals get hurt or in pain because they're so vulnerable and they can't defend themselves and they can't speak. Like children and animals can't really tell us what hurts or what's going on. So we have to try to figure it out. Right? And it's so heartbreaking, you know, because if I get sick, I can self-diagnose and go to the doctor and I'll be good. But children, they shouldn't suffer, and unfortunately, sometimes they do. So hopefully, your 8 8-month old baby gets well and gets in 100% health. Don Man, thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Charles Walking Out, thank you for logging on. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Fabiola Hernandez, I let myself down so bad I didn't make church today, and it threw my whole day off. Fabiola Hernandez, you know, sometimes you can't go to church for whatever reason. Something happens, an illness, you know, something happens to get in the way. So you didn't go today, but maybe you can go tomorrow. Maybe you can go on Tuesday, on Wednesday, Thursday. For church is going to be there, right? God, it was always there. So if you couldn't make it today, don't fret, right? You don't have to wait till next year, right? And go as soon as you can, right? So you know, we can't always be perfect and be everywhere where we're supposed to be, but we can make up for it. Redemption. Casey, any updates on Jess, Isabella? No updates. I haven't heard anything from Jessica. Haven't heard anything from Marissa. Haven't heard anything from anybody about baby Isabella. I just haven't heard. Nobody's telling me anything, so I'm not sure what's going on, what they're doing. I have received a lot of your guys' donations. Right? I have a bunch of diapers and baby mittens and socks and wipies for the babies. So I have all that stuff. I'm just waiting for Jessica or Marissa or somebody to say, "Hey, it's all good. We're good. Can you come bring us the stuff that was donated?" So I do have that. So I'm just waiting for them to. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're working with a hospital. I'm not sure. Right. So Keith Martz, thank you for logging on, Keith. I did have a good Easter. I had a great Easter. It was a beautiful day. I rested. And I went shopping a lot. I enjoyed the weather. It was a nice warm day. It wasn't hot, and it's it's getting beautiful. It's starting to get warm, excessively warm very soon. Um, but yeah, I had a good day. That's for sure. What did anybody else do? Anything? Anybody else do anything fun? So church and hanging out the park, eating food, right? Just hanging out. I noticed when I was driving today, a lot of stores were closed, right? I wanted to go to Lowe's to go get some stuff for some like weed killer, and they're closed. Bunch of stores were closed, a lot of stores, but a lot weren't. So that was kind of surprising. Petco was open, Fry's food store is open. So it's just interesting how some places close and some stay open. It's different. Brenda, sounds like a nice, relaxing, and productive day for you. It absolutely was. I enjoyed my day today. It wasn't stressful and run around. It was, I got to do, I didn't even plan it. I just did it. Oh, okay, I need this from the store. I need this from over here. I need this from over here. And it was fun. I had a good day. So, and I took a nap. I'm watching this. I just started watching this series from Jason Momoa. Right? Is that his name? Jason Momoa. It's called Frontier. It's on Netflix. I think it's 3 seasons long, and I just started. I'm on episode 4, and it's really cool. It's about I don't know, the 1600s and the Hudson Bay Company, and it's I like that stuff. I like historic stuff. So as you guys know, so I'm enjoying it. Every time that I watch that show, I'm watching it, I fall asleep and I take a nap, and then I have to start it and rewind it. Okay, where do I remember last? Always, so it puts me to sleep. So Jason Momoa puts me to sleep. He's a good actor, but I'm falling asleep on his show Frontier. It's a good show. Art, I recommend you watch Nick Crowley on YouTube since you like true crime. That name sounds so familiar. I'll check out Nick Crowley. Jesus, any update on, or you see Miguel? I have a friend that can give work in Tempe. Good job, Miguel. Is that Miggy? You're talking about Miggy? Yeah, Miggy's not ready for a job. He's nowhere near ready for a job, unfortunately. But when he is, I'll let you know. Jesus, appreciate you. Brenda, how am I liking the show? I'm loving the show because I like history. So there's a lot of historical. Um, it's kind of like, I don't say like based on a true story, but they use like history in it. So I'm liking it. I enjoy that stuff. Jose says a good weed killer is vinegar with dish soap and salt and water, and it works really good. Um, Probably, but I just go. It's easy to get this big old thing. I forgot what it's called. It's from Lowe's. It's a big bottle, and I just squirt it a couple times, and 2 days the plants are just gone. So it kills it at the roots. Love it. Robert Tovar, you'll love the show See No Evil. I've watched See No Evil. I watch Discovery, all the true crime on Discovery. I watch that stuff. Have you seen the Code Talkers? I have not seen the Code Talkers, but when you say that Code Talkers, that sounds familiar to me because in Arizona we had the Navajo Code Talkers in World War II. The U.S. Army, pretty sure it's the Army or Marines, most likely the Army used our brothers and sisters, the Navajo men, because to communicate, they were communications experts, right? They would send codes to each other because the Germans could not break those codes because they didn't know Navajo. So that was pretty cool, right? That's kind of smart of the U.S. government to recruit um, Navajo folks from here in Arizona back in World War II. Navajo code talkers. Carlene Rosie, hi Art, tuning in from Little Rock, Arkansas. Awesome. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Alyssa is from Bakersfield, California. Yep, that's it. So is that a show on Netflix? I don't know. I just know the history of. I'm pretty good at World War II type stuff, right? And so anything to do our connection, Arizona's connection to World War II is pretty cool. Do you guys remember the American flag raising at Iwo Jima, right when we were fighting the Japanese in Iwo Jima? Do you guys remember that iconic picture of like four soldiers raising the American flag on a hill? One of those four guys is an Arizonan. He's native. He's not Navajo. I don't think he's Navajo. I think he's from the Gila River uh, reservation, and his name is Ira Hayes. So one of those four guys raising the U.S. flag at Iwo Jima was an Arizonan. Pima. Sometimes it's hard for me to keep keep all the names and tribes and all that stuff. But yeah, Mexican Korea used to watch. You used to watch shows like Sábado con Lente Loco siempre en domingo back in the 80s. I watched very little of it. Some of them very annoying to me. Those Some of those shows are very annoying to me. But yeah, Brian says Ashanti is in a sober living house. God bless Art. Brian, God bless you. Hopefully you had a great day. Thank you for your service out there, what you do every day on the streets. Thank you for the update on Ashanti. I saw her about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't seen her recently. So I'm grateful that she's finally in a sober living house. That's great news, Brian. So thank you for the update, and hopefully I see you soon. I was thinking about you yesterday when I was out on the streets out there in Glendale. I didn't see you, but stay safe, Brian. I appreciate you. God bless you and your family. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Carlotta De La Rosa, you're good at memorizing everything and anything. Love listening to you. uh, I think I'm good. I don't know about memorizing. I'm just good at retaining information that I find very interesting, right? So I could recall stuff that I've read, like Ira Hayes, right? Pima. He's buried in, I want to say Sacaton, Arizona. He's buried there because that's where he's from. He's from the Gila tribe, which is Pima. But yeah, so very interesting. Ira Hayes from Casablanca, which is part of the Gila River Indian Reservation, close to Sacaton, Arizona. Stephanie Linkletter is my she's confirming. She's my confirmer. Esther, I'm so happy to know that Amber has gained weight and is soon reuniting with her daughter. And like you said, recovery is possible. Recovery is possible for everybody if that's what you want, right? You want to recover, great. Here's what you need to do. Here are the steps, right? When you get tired of that life, when you get tired of suffering from injury, from the cold, from dehydration, from starvation, when you're tired and sick and tired of losing your family, your friends, um, ask for help. That's what Amber did, right? 2 days after I interviewed her, she walked into a Fry's and she asked for help. A manager at Fry's, she said, "Hey, can you call the ambulance for me?" Right? So 2 days after she denied me to take her, right? It took her 2 more days of suffering, dehydration. I mean, she knew that she didn't have long. Like, her body is saying, like, "You better feed me, you better give me drink, you better, rehabilitate me because it's gonna I'm gonna give out," right? So, that's Amber. She's in the comments, so hopefully, I don't know if you're still here, Amber, but again, you're my hero. You're a hero for a lot of people here that are watching your progress, right? So it was just February 26th when I interviewed Amber. She was totally lost in Phoenix, and now I just saw her this past just a few days ago. I saw her, and she looks a lot better. I didn't recognize her. When I walked into the room, I said, "Amber." Okay, she's like, "Yeah, I look different, right?" I go, "Yeah, you look better," you know? So, sometimes people just need a stranger to come into their life and kind of remind them that they're worthy of more, they matter, they're special, and they should give themselves an opportunity because I recognize their humanity just like you guys are recognizing their humanity, that they're important, that they're worthy of extending a hand and saying, get up, brother, get up, sister. Let's go do something with your life, right? So I'm really excited for her progress. What is she going to do with the rest of her life? She is so young, right? 38 years old, right? Here she getting a second chance at life. Right? What are you going to do, Amber? She said, I'm going to reconnect with my daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, she said, right? So that's special. How does her 12-year-old daughter feel? Like she has her mom back. So that's awesome. Love it. FTA means failure to appear. Yeah, so she logged in earlier. Amber logged in as soon as I logged in 30 minutes ago. Amber said she probably gets an alert, right? At the She's at the treatment center, the recovery center, and getting better. And gosh, it's just so heartwarming, you know? It's like so. Um, Amber reminds me so much of Blake because they looked physically the same, deteriorating like before my eyes, like in front of me. I see a human that's going the wrong way, and it's unfortunate that it never clicked for Blake. It never clicked. And as much as we outreached and we extended a hand and we lifted him up and we got him some hotel rooms, and it never clicked for him, unfortunately. So William Larson, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you. Happy Easter, Art. Hope your day was great. Thank you for what you do. William, thank you. Hopefully, you had a great Easter with your family, surrounded by friends and loved ones. I had a great day because I did do stuff, but not anything stressful. Or I just took the day off from everything, kind of unplugged, and just went shopping. Necessities, groceries, and the basics. And I had a good day. It was a beautiful day, weather-wise. Casey says I sent Cash App to Blake thinking he got on the bus. Yeah, we all thought he got on the bus, and that's part of addiction. It's the deception part, but the only person they're deceiving is themselves, right? So at the end of the day, we're here with a good heart, and we're trying to help and impact people and extend a hand and lift people up. And Casey, although your intention was good, and your what you donated didn't go exactly to where you wanted it, but God's watching, right? God knows your intention. So don't worry too much, Casey. I think you're awesome regardless of what happened with after we give somebody, right? Here's a dollar, go get some food. Here's $5, go get some food, right? That's my heart going out to you, right? So that you can go get some food because that's what you told me you're gonna do. You haven't ate, so here's some money for some food because I might not have time to go get you some food. So here's $5, right? What you do after that, that's on you. You have 100% ownership of it, right? My heart is pure. My heart is clean. That I'm giving this to you out of the kindness of my heart. So don't stress too much over it, right? So Malika MS is all the way in Toronto, Canada. Thank you for logging in, Malika from Toronto, Canada. Toronto Maple Leafs, Toronto Raptors, Toronto. Uh, I'm not sure where. I think it's over there, like on the eastern end. I think, and I think here on the western end we have like what, Vancouver. Not sure. Matt, Sonia, hello. Happy Easter to you and your family. I appreciate you. Did Excalibur ring come in? Sometimes when you guys come in, I can't see your chats. I'm talking, so I apologize. I can't see everybody's um, messages. Bo, the biochemist, happy Easter to the Lost of Phoenix family. I'm writing a paper due by midnight, but took a break to show some love. Keep up the amazing work, everyone. You're loved, thought of, and prayed daily. Bo, the biochemist, thank you for logging in on your short break from your paper. So get back in there, go get an A plus, and do us proud. So you're awesome, Bo the biochemist. Studying on a Sunday night, that's awesome. Doing some productive instead of some destructive. You're awesome. Excalibur rings. Happy Easter to you and your family. Hopefully, your family's doing well. David, make sure you guys go to Excalibur Rings on YouTube and subscribe. He's a really good guy, a great craftsman, creates some really cool rings, really awesome rings that I'll be checking out soon. I'm not a big jewelry guy. Not a big jewelry. The only jewelry I have is just my military dog tags. Okay, so one's the Army and one's Navy. But I'm not really a gold guy, and he doesn't have gold. He has some really cool rings. Go check them out. Uh, Excalibur rings on YouTube. If you guys sign up, if you guys subscribe to his channel, please let me know. I'll give you guys a shout out on here because really cool dude, former military like me, and he's a great guy. Malika says, we love you here in Canada. Malika, thank you. I love you here in Phoenix, Arizona, United States of America, Earth. Appreciate you. Alyssa says, I talked to Face. How was Face? You saw him out in the streets. Don't say where you saw him, right? Exactly where you saw him, but you talked to him. How is he doing? Is he okay? Alyssa said, you talked to Face. Sorry. I have not talked to Face in about a month. Casey, thank you for putting the link to Excalibur rings. Excalibur ring says, David says, hey, Art, I'm working on your 100,000 subscribers ring. Should be ready by Memorial Day. Thank you, Excalibur rings. You're awesome. Appreciate you. He says that gold is coming to his inventory. Cool. Brenda says, I thought the dinosaur rings made out of Spinosaurus bone were really intricate. Yeah, I've seen his videos on how he makes those rings, and it's so, it's a process. It's like work, right? So I appreciate that. Yeah, he has a full-time job, he has a family, and he does this, the rings, on the side and he makes amazing videos to showcase his ring making talents. So, very impressive. And just again, just an awesome guy with a good heart and a definite craftsman. So I appreciate him. Danielle Williams, I just subscribed to Excalibur Rings. Danielle, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You subscribe to Lost in Phoenix. You should subscribe. You should subscribe to Excalibur Rings because I'm a veteran. Excalibur Rings is a veteran, and I think that's why we get along because we're two hardworking guys. So appreciate you, Danielle. You are awesome. Claudia A, hello. Fire wifey. I was an HMC in the Navy. What were you? I was a SK. They don't have that rating no more. My rating is so old, they don't have it anymore. That's funny. Dog says, "Do you know if Richard and Grandpa got into that housing?" I haven't seen him since then. I haven't heard from him since then. I haven't seen them since then. Hopefully, they got into housing, right? Hopefully, they're doing better. Hopefully, one day it clicks, right? Just like it clicked for Amber. It's really sad. Richard obviously loves his grandfather, right? He loves his grandfather. It seems like Richard doesn't have a relationship with his father, but he loves his grandfather. So I think the grandfather gives him that male nurturing kind of that his father should have given him, and so that's why it's just a tough dynamic, you know. Richard is what, 21, 22, and the grandfather is like 70 years old. So that's an interesting dynamic, right? Where they're both out in the street. Talk about that relationship where it's enabling, kind of like Migs and Carla. Um, it's hard for them to get well together because they're both pulling each other down, right? They support each other in their downfall instead of going the opposite way. And so similar to Richard and his grandfather, right? They're both content in their current life style. And it's really sad to see because they're just declining, right? Because I've known Richard for what, a year, over a year, and he's not getting better. And he's just 21, 22 years old. So that's it's heartbreaking for me to see such young people just not get well. They're going backwards. Really sad. Roxy Abu, in Amber's video, she said she went to Fry's and laid on the floor and had them call the paramedics. Is this the only way they will take someone in for help? So, in the United States of America, we have what's called right of refusal. Right of refusal. So, so for a lot of people, they'll attack me and they'll say, "Why don't you call the ambulance? Why don't you call the paramedics?" Right? Um, we can call them, they can go, and they'll say, "Amber, do you want to go to the hospital?" Right? And as soon as Amber says no, Amber or anybody else, me, you, anybody, "I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want you to, don't touch me." Right? Just please leave me alone. By law, they have to leave her alone. Right? That's medical refusal. So uh, unless a person is unconscious, if somebody's knocked out on the ground, then the medical professionals, law enforcement, medical professionals, paramedics, ambulance, doctors, then they have the right to treat find out why she's unresponsive. So, so she went into the Fries looking for help, right? So when I saw her 2 days prior, when I met her, for the first time, and I interviewed her, I asked her several times, right before the video, during the video, after the video, "Are you sure you don't want me to take you to the hospital?" No. "Are you sure you don't want me to call the ambulance or doctors or anybody?" No. People say, "Why don't you just do it anyways?" First off, okay, is if I call them, she's not going to be there. Uh, second of all, if I do call them and she is there, she's going to say, "Nope, I don't want you to give me any treatment. Please leave." So by me tying up the paramedics, am I taking away that valuable service time and response time for them to go to a car accident or a heart attack or something grave? So I kind of try to think big picture, long term. Whereas people, when they see stuff like that, they get all emotional, and start attacking me. So, but I got it covered. AMA discharge. AMA is against medical advice. So people do that all the time. People will go. People battling addiction do AMA all the time. So they'll go to the hospital because something's hurting, right? And just extreme pain, right? Let's say, let's say Lulu, she goes to treat her leg, and they treat her pain, immediate pain, but the doctor says, hey, you can't leave for another 2 weeks because we got to run tests, we got to stabilize, we have to this it, it, it. And she says, you know what, I want to leave right now, I'm leaving. She starts unplugging all the stuff. That's against medical advice. That's what they put on the chart, right? So Lulu left against medical advice because we have the right of refusal. She could refuse medical care if she wants to. I can, you can, she can. So it doesn't matter. So that's the way it goes in America. Malika, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Excalibur Ring says, also just want to say we do a lot of good things for the community. We have put together bags for art to give away during those interviews in the past. I'm planning to work with Shorty on the next one. So yeah, Excalibur Rings, definitely giving back to the community. And so again, that's another reason to support him and his ventures. Really cool dude, and definitely giving back to the community. So it's awesome. Denali says left without being seen and AMA against medical advice are two different things in which both affect how you're treated next time. That's a really good point. Every time we or anybody goes into the hospital, they have our name, our social security number, and when we came in, what happened. So basically, I have our whole history of going into the hospital, right? If you have a person, Lulu, that goes in there and leaves like constantly on a AMA, how seriously are they going to want to help her when they call her out? They call for ambulance to go out to the street, or will they see her come into the emergency room, right? How responsive will the doctors be when they know that she's not going to put in a lot of effort? How much effort will the doctors, the nurses, the people registering you in, will they put into registering her? And how much time and effort when she she might not want to get true care, but you got somebody in the emergency room, heart attack, or they're having issues, right? And I've seen it. I've been to the emergency room and people are having difficulty breathing, people are bleeding, people are vomiting, people are. The emergency room is not a fun place to hang out, right? Because it got a lot of people crying and sobbing and just in pain. You could just, it's palpable, the pain and the discomfort, and it's so I say, tell people, eat good, eat healthy, don't overindulge, and stay away from too much sugar, because that was really sad. Janice Bear, I did have a good Easter. Hopefully you and your family had a great Easter as well. Janice, I appreciate you. I've only known one Janice in my entire life, and that was in Barstow, California. She was really cool. I forgot her last name, but she was cool. Nice knowing her. Long time ago. Roxy Abu, I really wish more was being done to stop the drugs from flooding in. It has gotten so bad in Phoenix. I am born and raised here, and I've never seen it so bad. Yeah, I've been here since 1977, and it's definitely, I don't remember in the 80s being this bad, 90s being bad, 2000 being this bad. The past 5 years has gotten bad. When I started doing these interviews, November of 2020, from then to now, it's gotten worse. The price has gone down, right? More young people out in the streets, right? Teenagers out in the streets, families, moms and their sons out in the streets, both doing blues. Richard and his grandfather both doing blues. So it's like cross generational, like multi generations just together and connecting to make money to support each other in their lifestyle and their habits. I wish they would get together to support each other in their recovery and their sobriety and their next chapter in life, right? So it's sad, really, really sad. You guys are quiet today. That's odd. Maybe I don't know if my connection is off, but Arissa G, I can't wait for you to finally do videos on Skid Row. I know you were going to, but the weather got bad. Yeah, it was like the I thought I was gonna need Noah's Ark version 2.0 because it was raining so much that weekend and when I was over there. But soon, it's just one day. Trisha B, I'm afraid of how much worse the drugs can get. When I was growing up, weed was one of the biggest drugs. Now it's legal and drugs are getting deadly. Yeah. So I think, yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I don't have like a magic wand. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. People say legalize all drugs, right? The war on drugs has failed, and I would counter that. I would rebut that by saying, um, just say no. That worked for me. The Dare program worked for me. The war on drugs worked for me because it scared me, right? Like that stuff scared me. Like me, like when I was a kid, I don't want nothing to do with drugs, right? So I think most Americans, most humans don't consume drugs, right? Have never consumed drugs, will never ever consume drugs, right? Most Americans and most humans, so most people get the message drugs are bad. For some reason, other people don't, right? They just don't. Those are the people we need to talk to. Those are the people that need to get the message, right? There needs to be support, just a better family structure. Don't rely a lot on the government. And we're giving control of our lives, our family, our children to the government, and they're doing a horrible job of raising our kids. You should raise your kids, right? If you don't want to raise your kids, don't have kids. Casey says, I'm here listening. 1 second, I'm okay. The next, I'm breaking in a fever. KCPB, why don't you go lay down, go to bed, go to sleep, rest, relax. Thank you for joining us. But you should definitely get better, get well. I hate when people are sick. I don't like when people are in pain and that's horrible. Get well. Prayers for you, Casey, to get better and recover. So drink a lot of fluids, a lot of water. Have somebody give you some soup, some oranges, and please get better. Drugs are the devil. Drugs are bad. Drugs are really, really bad. Like I understood that as a young person. And I remember I was like 12 years old when an older, I think I was like in the, I don't know, third, fourth grade. and a sixth grader, he was either in the sixth grade or seventh grade. He pulled out a big old ball, a big ball like that of cocaine in a it was in a little baggie, big old ball like that, and he pulled it out of his pocket, right? He's in the sixth grade, and I'm in the fourth grade, right? This was back in the 80s. He's like, "Do you want some?" I'm like, "What is that?" He's like, "It's cocaine." Nah, I'm good. No, thank you. Right? He didn't force it in me. He didn't strap me down and say, you have to take it. He didn't continue to peer pressure me. He offered. I said no. I wasn't interested in it. Didn't want to be cool. Didn't want to be, I was my own person. I was really never a follower. Just said no. That was the first and only time anybody's ever offered me drugs. And I was prepared. Why? Because I think just as a person, I knew that was wrong. The DARE program worked for me. The Just Say No campaign from Nancy Reagan back in the 80s worked for me, right? So the war on drugs worked for me. So I think the war on drugs uh, works primarily, it works, right? So that's just my opinion, though. Trisha B says your videos are part of the solution. Kids have to be aware and learn at an earlier age. Now, these videos are perfect to help teach kids. Just to say, no, I agree. I wish there was more. It doesn't have to necessarily be my videos, but it could be like scare them. Right? Here's a reality. Right? Hey, uh, fourth graders, fifth graders, sixth graders, look, don't do these pills. Don't do any pills. Don't smoke marijuana because they're laced with fentanyl. Don't do this. Don't do that because it has these fentanyl in it. And then show them. I remember. Do you guys remember? Did your school, your high school, ever do this? They would take you to the football field, right? And they had a car in the middle of the football field, right? It was all wrecked, right? Damaged, horrible. And they would say that car last year, Jenny, 16-year-old Jenny was driving with their friends after a party. They were inebriated and they were in that car, and that their car hit a wall, and so that's their bodies were had to be ripped out of there, or the car had to be ripped open to get their bodies out of there. And but basically telling the reality, right, of what happened if you drink and drive, right? So they really don't do that for drugs anymore, right? They don't do that. Their focus is different. They're doing a lot of drag shows for in elementary and middle school stuff. Drag shows and all that stuff. So they really shouldn't do that. I think the parents should have 100% control over the sexuality. Talk about sex with their children. So let's and it should be the family, the moms and the dads talking about drugs as well. So I'm not sure why schools have gone so political, and it's so crazy. But yeah, I think the answer is just educating the youth, right? Talking to the youth, talking to the youth, and talking to the youth, right? Let's prevent more young people from going out to the streets. Let's prevent no more Carlas from going out the street, right? No more. Who's this girl that I interviewed? Gosh, what was her name? Roberto's girlfriend, Yaya. She says she's 18. She said that she started going out on the street doing drugs when she was 13, right? Why? Rebellion. I don't like anybody telling me what to do. She said she didn't really have a mom and a dad. Her grandma raised her. Her mom couldn't control her. So I'm like, man, you've had your childhood has been just, it shouldn't have gone that way, right? So it's really sad that she hasn't had a normal childhood, right? It's been drugs and God knows what other things she's been exposed to. So it's really, really sad if you think about it. Deborah Eckhart, they still show the cars here at the high school. Awesome. Show the cars, show these type of videos, right? Take kids to the coroner, right? To the morgue, right? When they're obviously have the parents sign a waiver. Yeah, please take my child to the morgue so they can see an autopsy of a young person who OD'd on these drugs, right? Scare the heck out of these kids so they can see that it's true, it's real. What these rappers are talking about on these videos and glamorizing this crap, that's not the reality, right? That's not the reality, right? Don't be a sucker. So if you're a rap star, you're gonna be doing that stuff. Cool, you got millions of dollars that you can go to treatment whenever you want. But these kids out here, they're falling for they're just traps. So field trip to the mortuary or coroner's office. I had a field trip to the coroner's office, and that was very, very interesting. That was one of the most interesting trips I've ever taken. One of my most interesting experiences I've ever had in my life. Seeing that, right? You're witnessing mortality, right? Uh, it's really sad. Yeah, it's really, really sad. Trisha B says schools need to do more to help educate kids. Yeah, schools, parents, and just society, right? These type of videos. What I'm doing is it's really educational, right? Towards I consider these videos educational. It's not entertaining. We're not mocking anybody. We're not laughing at anybody. We're not. It's prevention through awareness. The whole gist of this, the whole mission statement is prevention through awareness, right? So Carla and Migs, it's too late to prevent them. They're already in the thick of it. They've been there for years. So it's too late to prevent them. But maybe Migs and Carla's story can be a warning to a 12-year-old Migs, a 12-year-old Carla that's at home, lost, confused, no guidance. They're rebellious. They don't want to listen to nobody. Okay, 12-year-old Carla, if you don't listen to somebody, if you don't act right, this is going to be your future, right? Maybe that'll click in their head. That's how we make a dent in this. That's how we prevent other young people from going out to the streets by them making them aware of what dangers, like what life really looks like out here, right? The ugliness, right? People will say, "Why do you record this? Why do you do it? Why do you record them when they're so low, at their lowest and their most neediest, right? Because people need to see it because people at home need to see it. We can't stick our head in the sand and pretend it's not there." Somebody said, I remember some knucklehead said, "Why do you post these videos? We all know what's happening. We all drive past it. You don't have to expose them." And I'm like dummy, like pretending it's not there is not going to do anything for it, right? Just because you know about it and I know about it doesn't mean that little Johnny at home knows about it, right? So a lot of a lot of knuckleheads, so I got to put up with that, but it's part of it, part of the deal. Carlotta De La Rosa says, "I have learned so much since watching your videos. I really appreciate it." Thank you, Carlotta. And you know what? I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about addiction and human nature, right? Things that I had no idea about in the past. I never really knew what addiction was, what it looked like. I was one that was dismissive, right? Pointing the finger, right? Not really understanding the effects of addiction, the cause of addiction, the factors that go into addiction, right? And I know I've evolved. My opinion has changed. I'm more informed. I'm more aware. And what I've learned, I can pass it on to organizations, agencies, family, friends, coworkers, and I think that's beneficial. I think that's really helpful. You know, in 2.5 years of doing this, I can guarantee you we have saved at least one young person at home in Phoenix, in Arizona, in some other state across the country, maybe a different country altogether. Right? Somebody watched a young person watched these videos in the past 2.5 years and said, you know what? I'm 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 not gonna do that stuff. Somebody offered me something, I'm not gonna do it. So we saved a life, right? Just like when I, was listening to that police officer back in 1983 talk about drugs, right? Dare, right? What was Dare? Drug awareness, resistance, education, something like that, right? So that worked for me. I still know the acronym. I still know what it means because from freaking 30 some years ago, I still remember, I recall, right? Nancy Reagan's "Just Say No" like made an impact on me. There's a commercial, right, where they crack the egg on a hot pan, and the egg was just sizzling, right? And they said the guy said, "That's this is your brain, the egg, and this is drugs, and this is your brain on drugs, right?" And to me, I'm like, man, I don't want to cook my brain, right? 100-degree weather here in Phoenix is cooking my brain enough. I don't want drugs to cook it further. So that made an impact on me. Same way, I hope these videos make an impact on young people. I think it's working because parents reach out to me all the time behind the scenes on social media. They reach out to me and say, "Thank you very much for these videos." I show it to my daughter, my 12-year-old son, and it's making an impact on their lives. Thank you. Keep doing that. So uh, we might not be able to save everybody, but we saved this one person, right? Robert Tovar, do you remember the show Beyond Scared Straight? I do. I think you might be able to look it up on YouTube, but I remember Scared Straight. That's where they would take little bad kids, right? Little bad boys, and they're young. They're 10, 11, 12-year-old little bad kids, rebellious, not listening to their mom, hitting their mom. Just the mom is at her wit's end and says, "You know what? Take my son to juvenile hall. I can't handle him." So at juvenile hall, they take these little kids and they take them to prison, and they take them to convicted murderers and all this stuff, and they say, "Hey, can you guys talk to these kids? These kids think they're little badasses, and they think you guys are cool, and they want to be just like you when you grow up." So these hardened criminals, right, they have conversation. They say, "Hey, look, it's nothing cool about being here. I've been in here for 20 years and I'm never getting out, because when I was young, I was just like you, rebellious, didn't listen to nobody, and so these kids are crying, right? Of course, right? Because they're not badasses. They're just going through a phase, right? And they're crying and yelling, and I want to go home. And so, and sometimes they do follow-ups. I remember they're following up, right? Like a year later, 2 years later, little Johnny, is in jail now. He's 18 now. He's in jail. He didn't learn his lesson. But or some kids flip and be like, "Hey, I don't want to end up there," right? So we should be more proactive and make that part of curriculum. Make that you got to go to these schools, right? So make you have to go to these programs, right? You have to go to these anti-drug programs. We have to watch these type of videos. You have to go to the mortuary, to the morgue, right, to the coroner's office, right? You have to go and watch this stuff. And especially if you're should be mandated, right? If you're a kid that's getting in trouble, you have to take these type of classes, these type of courses. So why not? I'm gonna be eating dinner right now, 8:43 Arizona time. I'm gonna be eating. You know what I'm gonna eat? I'm gonna eat spaghetti. Spaghetti's good, right? So I texted Jeff and I told him that I was gonna log on, and he's probably asleep. But again, prayers for Jeff and his family. His wife is sick. They got bad news for her illness, so prayers for her and her recovery, and that she gets better very very soon. Joseph, hopefully your friend gets better. Freddie Burgos, shout out from El Monte. Thank you for logging in, Freddie. You're awesome. We love spaghetti. Ever had it with Polish sausage? I've never had it with Polish sausage. Never. Should try it, right? My condolences for your loss, Joseph. Yeah, so you play with fire, sometimes you get burnt, unfortunately, So my condolences for your loss of your friend. Yeah, that's that's always a possibility when you play with the when you're using these drugs. So not good. Brenda, lobster ravioli is amazing. Brenda, do you make it yourself, Brenda? Lobster ravioli. Sounds good, right? So ravioli is the little things where you stuff lobster meat in there. Sounds pretty good. If you make it like yourself, I think it's better, right? Food tastes better if you make it. Not me because I don't cook, but um, Brenda says yes, I can cook it, but not from scratch. Not yet, Brenda, but you will. You'll have to let us know how it came out, okay, Brenda? Dogs is craving tacos. I had tacos last night. I had tacos. They're okay. They're the sauce was good, the hot sauce. Daniel from Texas, spaghetti with ground deer meat is good. I've had deer meat. It's pretty good. So, have to try it. Malika says, please, family, stay away from drugs. Absolutely. That's a great message. We should all stay away from drugs. Maybe we all know we should stay away from drugs, but you know who needs to know? Your family, your children, your coworkers, your extended family, right? The people at your local school, the instructors, the teachers, the administrators should inform the youth. Joy Chapman checking in from Stockton, California. Happy Easter to you too, Joy. Thank you. Thanks for checking in from Stockton. Danielle Williams likes cheese ravioli. Baby Girl 97. Hey, Art, saludos a medicina para ti, tu familia. Happy Easter to you too, Baby Girl 97. Thank you. Hopefully, you had a great day. Brenda is hungry. Hot sauce or salsa on tacos is a must. Yes. Baby Girl 97 says, I just got done washing dishes and cooked for the family, made some homemade lasagna, made 3 batches of them. You must have a big family, Baby Girl 97. That's a lot of lasagna. I love lasagna. Lasagna is really good. Getting me hungry. Here we start talking about food. Kim Dobbins, free from the demon drug for 18 years now, drug free. Kim, congratulations, 18 years, make it 19 and 20 and 21. Pay it forward, educate people about your experience and how they should stay away from it. So, Congratulations, Kim. That's awesome. Happy Easter, Juliana Sanchez, to you and your family. Thank you for logging in. Brenda has the giggles. Baby Girl 97 is going to send me lasagna through Uber Eats. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, maybe I'll taste your lasagna one day. Appreciate you. If there's any leftovers, Baby Girl 97, let me know. Let the whole crew eat first, and then whatever is left over, you can put it in a doggy bag for me. Adesanya knockout. Yeah, that was. I watched every guy that I was cheering for last night. So I got the pay per view last night, right, for the UFC last night. Every guy that I was cheering for, I was rooting for, um, lost. So that's the way it goes in UFC. A lot of even matches. It was great. It was fun. It was very entertaining. That's for sure. Danielle Williams says, my husband made pancakes earlier, so I had a shake for dinner. Breakfast was my cheat meal today. That's awesome, Danielle. Sounds yummy. Baby Girl 97, yes, definitely are your size. You're my favorite. Baby Girl 97, thank you. Appreciate you. I'm gonna eat spaghetti and garlic bread. Brenda says, at least Gastelum won, right? Kelvin? Yeah, Kelvin. I was going for Kelvin, and he did a pretty good job of winning. So, yeah, he's a pretty good, pretty good. Omar, did I find the Easter bunny? No, wasn't looking for the Easter bunny. I was just hung out today. Nothing too productive. Just unplugged and didn't do a whole lot. Took a nap. Who you got, Garcia or Davis? I'm going for Garcia, but if I was to bet, Davis he has better defense and he has power in both hands. So we'll see. Mina Ruiz, how is Sabas? I have not seen him. Last I heard from his mom 2 weeks ago that he's still doing good, so that's good. Brenda is a UFC fan. Awesome, cool. Alex Merkel, happy Easter to you too, Alex. Appreciate you logging in. Thank you. Hopefully, you had a great Easter with your family. Malika said, I made some toast lamb and mashed potatoes and salad. Toast lamb. I'm not sure what that is, but sounds good. Sounds interesting. Sounds healthy. Mashed potatoes. I like mashed potatoes. I like salad. I like lamb. So awesome. His pancakes taste like IHOP pancakes. Awesome. Lady says, hello, you have a subscriber from Chicago here. Love what you're doing. Stay blessed. Lady, thank you for checking in from Chicago. It's late there. I appreciate you subscribing and commenting on here on this live. So thank you very much, lady. You're awesome. Stay safe out there in Chicago. I think I was there in August, September. It was fun. Chicago's a beautiful city. Um, Stay safe though. Canelo is fighting. I don't even know who's fighting. I don't know who's fighting, but I'm more. I'll probably watch Garcia fight versus and Tank Davis. That seems like a more interesting fight. Do you watch Bellator? Not really. I watch. I've been watching UFC since the beginning. I know all the old timers, Hoist Gracie and Ken Shamrock and all those guys from like UFC 1, 2, 3 back in the 90s. It was different. There was like no rules back then at all. No rules. Don Fry. Don Fry lives in Tucson. Don Fry lives in Tucson. He was a cool dude, man. You could tell that the shots have slowed him down, though. Don Fryer, one of the best all time. He's probably top 10. Dan Severn. Dan the Beast Severn, right? Really good. He's from Michigan. His brother, I forgot what his first name was, but he had a brother. They looked alike. His brother was a teacher at Metrotech when I was there back in the 90s. Metrotech Vocational Institute. Mr. Severn. I think he taught carpentry or something like that. So Brenda, you're saying that Canelo's gonna fight some guy named Ryder. That's a bad thing about Canelo is that he fights all these dudes. Me personally, I don't really. I'd rather him fight like a name guy, top name guy. Me personally. Dan Severn had tried to renew his fight license several times, but they didn't allow for him to keep fighting. So he moved. Cool. I didn't know. I don't know much about Dan Severn other than his brother was a teacher here in Arizona, in Phoenix. Uh, um, Dan Severn and Don Fry have a YouTube channel. So if you look them up, they have a YouTube channel. Pretty cool. Baby Girl 97 Art, my mom loves your personality and you have the same personality as me. Baby Girl 97, me and you are twins. That's so cool. You're definitely gonna have to save me some lasagna. Sprite Girl, hello art from a regular watcher in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Sprite Girl, thank you for logging in all the way from up north, British Columbia, Canada. I've never been to Canada, but I imagine it sounds beautiful. All the pictures I've seen of Canada are very beautiful. Canadian people are very, very mellow, chill. Uh, so you guys have really cool traits. Uh, but um, but yeah. Because I was born in Tucson, St. Mary's Hospital. All my family is Mexican. Cool. Tucson, Arizona, 2 hours away south of us. Lady says, "What time is it in Arizona? Is the weather hot now?" It's 8:56 p.m. here in Phoenix right now. Today it was 91 degrees here in Phoenix, which is very cool because normally we're like at 100, over 100. But it's been a cold winter for us. A lot of rain, a lot of water, a lot of snow. So we've been in a drought for the past 20 years, but this year helped um, lessen the drought that we had. So, but 98 degrees tomorrow, 98 degrees on Tuesday. So that's gonna suck. Lasagna. I got some lasagna on the way. Cool. Malika is in Canada. She wants us to go all the way to Canada to go do a live session. All of us, right? We should do our next meet and greet in Canada. That'd be cool to do like a meet and greet in Tucson or a meet and greet in like LA, right? Because there's a lot of LA people here in the Lost in Phoenix subscribers. So that'd be really cool. New Mexico is another one, right? Albuquerque, like do a meet and greet. Hey guys, I'm gonna be in Albuquerque on this day at this place. Come and hang out just so I can say hi and meet you guys. That'd be really cool. Excalibur Excalibur was the only guy that showed up in the meet and greet. Yeah, most everybody else was women. Yeah, true. Brenda is in Washington D.C. Yeah, you know what? I think you are the only Washington D.C. person. Not a lot of Washington D.C., but if uh, I mean, it's not like a big city, right? District of Columbia. So I always wonder what Washington is. So like Brenda, you don't have to tell me where you work, but like, what do you do for your profession? Because when I think of Washington D.C., I think of people, a lot of people there, like in politics, right? Your family's in politics or something. So I've never been to Washington D.C. Trisha B is in Mississippi, or she'd go to the meet and greet. Are you in Tupelo, Mississippi? That's where Elvis was born. Tupelo, Mississippi. Julie Martinez. Thank you for logging in, Julie. I appreciate you. Happy Easter to you and your family, Julie. You're awesome. Hopefully, you had a great day. Carlotta says, I can't make it to Phoenix, let alone Canada. What's your favorite oldie? Gosh, I have a lot of oldies. So back when I was in high school, when I was in California, I had a girlfriend. I'm not gonna say her name, but she was so cool. She made a when I moved to Arizona. She was my girlfriend over there, and then I moved to Phoenix, right, when I was in high school, and of course we're in long distance, and we still wrote each other letters back then, right? There's no texting, no cell phones back then. Um, Long distance was expensive, so we wrote the old fashioned like letters, right, with stamps and stuff, right? And she sent me a package one time, and it was a cassette tape, and it was nothing but oldies, right? Nothing but oldies, and I still remember that. I don't have it anymore. Unfortunately, I lost the tape. But it was really cool oldies, and um, uh, I can't remember all the songs, but it was really cool. It was a cool compilation of songs that she said reminded her of me or like us, and so that was really cool. So yeah, fond memories of my childhood. But that one song, hey there, lonely girl," right? That's I always remember that one. I remember when I was 17 years old and I would listen to "I'm 18 with the bullet." Got my finger on the trigger and I'll pull it right. I'm like, man, I'm not 18 yet. That was a long time ago. That was 30 years ago. Dang. Uh, Thin line between love and hate. That's a good one, right? Um, Smokey Robinson songs, right, from back in the day. Um, Man, what else? What other songs do I have good memories on? Art, remember Art LeBeau, right? Art LeBeau, Volume One, Art LeBeau Oldies Volume Two, or what was that one series called East Side Story or whatever? Remember that? I remember those cassettes. That's funny. That was sweet of her for sending you that. She was a sweet. I thought I was gonna marry her, but I didn't. I was so mature back then. So mature. I didn't mature until recently. But yeah. Brenton Wood. Yeah, Brenton Wood was awesome. I remember Brenton Wood. Credence Clearwater Revival are good oldies. Yeah, that's more, I consider that more like classic rock. Definitely old. There's like oldies for classic rock genre. When I think classic, when I think oldies, I'm always, when I say oldies, I'm thinking like Art LeBeau, Brenton Wood, um, Motown, 60s, 70s type stuff. But CCR is definitely, I love classic rock, that's for sure. Little Richard, not too much, but he's all right. Joseph said Art LeBeau got me my first lady. It's awesome. Yeah, Phoebe is behaving. She's behaving today. Boston. Baby girl, yes, I do. Dude, when are you getting a Chihuahua? I've had Chihuahuas. I've had like 3 or 4 Chihuahuas in my life. Um, they're cool, but what got you through your first heartbreak time? I love you for all seasons. That's a good one. Dang. The originals, Baby I'm for real. Dang, I think that was on the tape. That was on the mixtape. That was in 1991 when I got that tape from my ex-girlfriend. When we get married, I remember when we got married. The 10 Commandments of Love. Gosh, man. I wonder how many children were born to these songs, right? How many were created because of these songs? Do you play any musical instruments? I do not. If I played any musical instruments, I would want to play the guitar. I'm not musically talented though. Do I sing? I think I sing okay, and definitely in the shower though. Art, do you believe in marriage? Yes, I do. Marriage is nuclear marriage, nuclear family. Nuclear family mean a man and a woman are married and they raise a family and they have children. So I believe in that, right? Um, uh, and unfortunately, our our society is not liking that. So that's, I think, where it has a lot to do why we have all these lost kids because they have no structure anymore. Sad. Dog says, I love cats too. I miss my cats. Um, awesome. I've never been around cats. I don't think I'm a cat person. I'm more of a dog person. Cats are cool, but I've never had a relationship with a cat. So, lady, what are your plans for tomorrow? Work, work, work. Gotta pay bills. Artist that one dude with the sound system bumping ABBA. I'm that one guy bumping Led Zeppelin, like real music, right? Led Zeppelin. Um, uh, who else? AC/DC, Deep Purple, um, stuff like that. Leonard Skinner, right? Leonard Skinner, Freebird, right? It's a classic. It's a final countdown. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Corn, I don't. Me personally, I don't consider corn like oldies. I don't probably because I'm older, so my oldies go back. Classic rock oldies go back to the '60s, '70s, even '80s. Anything in the '90s forward, I don't. Me personally, I don't consider classic. It's almost spaghetti time. I'm excited. I'm getting excited. My tripa is getting excited because it'll be reunited with some um, spaghetti and garlic bread. What about R&B? Irene Herrera, R&B. I listened to R&B when I was a kid. Keith Sweat. Um, uh, who else? Bobby Brown. Who else? I mean, it's a long list of R&B, right, from the '90s. But yeah, definitely listen to R&B. I didn't start listening to classic rock until in my late 20s, and I've been listening to that's like my favorite genre. But then when I was a kid, it was like R&B, oldies, like rap, like early rap. I don't listen to rap anymore. It's weird how your taste for music evolves and changes, and so it's very interesting, right? So I can't be the only one that's evolved like that. Pink Floyd, I love Pink Floyd. Uh, so I have a funny Pink Floyd story. When I was in California, uh, uh, I was uh, I was hanging out this with Jay. Okay, if Jay's watching this, Jay, you're awesome. You're a cool dude. I always thought you were a cool dude, and just a cool guy. And we were in his little truck, a little white Nissan or Toyota, and he got in his truck. I don't know where we're going. He said, he said, he said, do you like Pink Floyd? And I said, who's he? He started cracking up. Uh, he started cracking up. Uh, and he just started laughing. I had no idea. I'd never heard of Pink Floyd, so I always remember that like who's he, right? I thought it was a dude, but nah, they're one of the greatest rock bands of all time. Pink Floyd, awesome stuff. Joseph, thank you for hanging out with us. Joseph, you have a good night. Make it a productive week. Joseph, appreciate you. Baby girl wants to see my spaghetti. You're talking about my food, right? It's in the kitchen. It's in the refrigerator. I have to warm it up. I'm glad Baby Girl 97 said, I'm glad she didn't say, let's see your spaghetti noodle art. That would have been like, what? Um, but yeah, Pink Floyd. I love Pink Floyd. Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, AC/DC, um, um, Black Sabbath. That was some intense, hard stuff. Uh, and it took a lot of talent to make that music. Whereas music now, it doesn't, half of it is synthesized, electronic, and all that garbage. So, but back then, it was like each dude had to they had to put their own musical talents on display. So it's different. Music is different nowadays. Are you going to eat on live? No, I'm definitely not. Haven't seen Carla. Black Sabbath. Yeah, Black Sabbath is awesome. Ozzy. Have you listened to Uriah Heep? I don't know who that is. I've heard the name, but I don't know what genre that is. Hopefully, that's a guy, not a band. E and S family. How's the pregnant women? I don't know how the pregnant women are because I'm not impregnating them. I You might be talking about Jessica, right? The pregnant young woman. She had her baby like 2 weeks ago. A Mexican in Korea. You grew up angry at the world? I did not. Why why this hard rock stuff? So, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't start listening to classic rock until my late 20s. So, definitely not growing up on that music. I wish I would have grown up on it because I would have appreciated it. But I don't think you have to be angry. I wasn't angry at anything. I just enjoyed the music, right? Because I can appreciate music because I can't make the music, right? So I appreciate how talented a guitar player is, right? A guitar player like Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin. I appreciate the vocal talents of one of the best vocalists ever, Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. The bass and keyboard work from John Paul Jones, one of the best ever, one of the top five drummers of all time, John Bonham. Um, I appreciate because I can't do any of it, right? So you don't have to be angry at the world and listen to music. You just have to like it, like the way it sounds, and appreciate the hard work that goes into creating that. So John Bonham, yeah, John Bonham, rest in peace, man. Such a good drummer, and unfortunately, he liked to drink alcohol. He didn't do drugs, but he drank a lot, a lot, a lot. And they were at Jimmy Page's house recording music, like working on an album, or they're doing something like that at a studio or one of their studios or at their house, and they're drinking afterwards, and he got really drunk, drunk, drunk. They supposedly put him in the back of his car, and he was um laying with his head up, right? And he basically he threw up, and he was so drunk, so out of it that the throw up went back in and it caused him to choke, and he passed away. So that happened in 1980, and they broke up. Led Zeppelin broke up after that. They never played together after that. They never replaced John Bonham. Jimmy Page decided to stop Led Zeppelin. So I think they started in 1968 all the way to 1980. So that's one band I wish I would have seen. I would pay top dollar to go see. I'd pay money to go see them right now. If they John Paul Jones got together, Plant and Page got together, that'd be awesome. I think his son plays drums now. I think his name is what, Jason Bonham. I think Jason. I'm pretty sure. I think he's played with not Led Zeppelin, but Jimmy Page. Uh, I'm pretty sure he played with Jimmy Page at some point. Yeah, sad. That band was cursed. They were cursed. Robert Plant's son died. Um, I forgot what his name was. The kid's name was Karak, or started with the K. He was like 5 or 6 or 7 or something. Little kid died of, I don't know what it was, pneumonia or something. Uh, so he was sad. He wrote a song about that. I forgot the name, but Robert Plant wrote a song about that. So they're cursed, man. Have you been to a Kiss concert? No, I haven't. Kiss. I was never into makeup bands and that type of stuff. That was more like 80s, I think. That's when rock started changing. They started becoming, long hair. What's it called? Glam bands, right? They call them glam bands, like glamorous, right? The guy started turning very feminine for some reason. I don't know. All My Love was the song, right? All My Love. Sad. Live, laugh, love. Just saw you were live. Hello. Happy Easter to you too. Live, laugh, love. Red Librarian is in California. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Myra Cordero. Happy Easter. Made it to a live. Thank you for checking in, Myra. Appreciate you. You're awesome. Trisha B. Thank you for tuning in. You have a great rest of your week. She has to go fold clothes, but I'll still be listening. Awesome. I'll be leaving very soon because that spaghetti is calling my name, right? The spaghetti is whispering in my ear. Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac. Stevie Nicks. She went to high school here in Phoenix. She's from Phoenix. She still lives, well, she had a house here in Phoenix. She had a house she had a big house, but then she wanted to downsize. Like Stevie Nicks never had kids, so she doesn't have a lot of family. So she downsized. She's older now, right? I think 70, but she was so beautiful, great voice, like a musical talent. Um, I think she was discovered here in Phoenix at a mall. She was singing at a con, at the mall or something. Somebody found her, discovered her, and she was just talented. Julie, I've inspired and motivated Julie to make spaghetti at 10:22 p.m. Um, that's awesome. Thoughts on UFC WWE merger? I don't really watch WWE. I don't know anything about WWE. I only know about WWF, right? I know WWF really well, but that's a long time ago. WWE, I don't know who their star is. I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. I haven't seen WWE in a long time. It used to be WWF, right? World Wrestling Federation. So that was back in, gosh, late 80s when I used to watch, right? Mid 80s, late 80s when I was Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, um, King Kong Bundy, Iron Sheik, Junkyard Dog. That's when that wasn't real wrestling, but it was, it was fun. All this stuff now, I have no idea. I've evolved, I think. What about country music? I don't. So I mean, it's like I don't know what's happened in music, like all genres, but all genres right now are like trash, like very trashy. So like country music, like today, I just saw a country singer, a girl, like rapping. I think you should keep that stuff like pure, like keep country pure, keep rap pure, keep Spanish music pure. Don't really try to merge it, right? Because there's already a genre for that. So just keep it in its little, you know. I don't know anything about country music now, but I love George Strait. I love Dwight Yoakam, George Jones from back in the day, Tammy Wynette, Patsy Cline from back in the day, Elvis, his gospel stuff. He was country-ish before he went, with the rock stuff. But traditional stuff makes more sense because it was you really had to make music. The stuff nowadays in all genres is just, to me, it just very like just trash, unfortunately. So I'm not a big fan of like music. Even Spanish music nowadays sucks. So I listen to Spanish music from like a long time ago. Spanish music now sucks. I like that some MMA fighters have transitioned to pro wrestling, like Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, and Cain Velasquez. Um, I mean, it's cool. It's a niche, right? Like me personally, I would never watch pro wrestling. Now I just don't like that stuff, right? I used to like it when it was the WWE, WWF back in the 80s, 90s. Um, I was following that whole progression, right? Uh, but nowadays, you know, it's news to me. Ronda Rousey is in wrestling. I had no idea. Brock Lesnar is in wrestling. I had no idea. Cain Velasquez. Last time I heard Cain Velasquez was in jail, right? Last time I heard Ronda Rousey got her butt kicked like 5 years ago from the Holly home, right? But so they're just going to the wrestling stuff to make money, basically, right? So, and I don't knock them for that. It's just not entertaining for me. Tennessee Whiskey, that's a really good song. Tennessee Whiskey reminds me of Strawberry Wine. Anybody remember Strawberry Wine from the 90s? That was funny. Red Librarian, thanks for the follow up video on Amber. So thankful that she's in recovery. Her story stuck with me. Probably because of her mouth. I felt bad for her, it looked painful. Yeah, she had been texting me all along that she's in treatment, she's got help, and she's slowly regaining. It feels really good that she's gained 16 pounds. We can clearly hear her and understand her. She's sober, so she's focused on her future, reuniting with her daughter. So good stuff, right? A little sobriety will change your outlook on life. Shania Twain, I remember her. I remember Shania. I listen to bachata and kizomba. I don't know what kizomba is, but I know what bachata is. Danielle Williams, I agree. I like old school country and Tejano music. Yeah, Tejano would be like who? Freddie Fender. Uh, who else? Emilio Navarez. I think he had died of a heart attack, right? Um, Selena was considered Tex-Mex Tejano, so interesting. George Strait, cool dude, cool music, right? Cool songs that he had. Um, I never dated a country girl, but I'm pretty sure George Strait. If I had played enough George Strait, right, it would have happened. So I missed out. Lil Joe and La Familia, Michael Salgado. I've heard of him, but I don't really know. Tim McGraw married who? I know his wife is very beautiful, right? Tim McGraw's wife, Hill, something Hill, Hill, Faith Hill. I know she's pretty. Something about boots. The boots under the bed. Whose boots have your no? Whose bed have your boots been under? Right. I think that's Faith Hill, right? I think. I'm not sure. I'm not good with country, but I love George Strait. George Strait. Let me see. Think of a George Strait song. Um, man, I'm, I don't know the name, but I'm thinking of the song right now. George Strait. Watch. There's a Carrying Your Love with Me, 1997. Carrying Your Love with Me. Dang, that's a tough one right there. That song. That's you guys need to listen to it. Red Librarian, enjoy your spaghetti. Keep doing God's work. Happy Easter. He has risen. Amen. Red Librarian, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. Malika Kazamba is Portuguese from Brazil. Awesome. Thank you for the heads up. Never heard of it, but I'll check it out. Dallas Wayne and Barbara Mandrell. Cool. I'm sure that's country, right? Danielle Williams says, yes, my daughter cries when she hears that song. Her dad used to always sing it to her before he passed. My condolences. But yeah, great song. George Strait, Amarillo by Morning. Tony, 1208, happy Easter to you. Tony, thanks for checking in. Appreciate you. Favorite Michael Jackson tracks? Gosh, I remember Thriller. I remember in 19, what was it, 84 when Thriller came out. I was a little kid and it was like a big deal when it came out because it was like a long video on TV, right? It was like, what are we watching? Is this a movie? Is this a show? It was just a long video. 1984, Thriller. 82. I watched it in 1982. I was a little kid. Beat It. Yeah, Beat It. I remember Beat It. Billie Jean Is Not My Lover. Lynn Hill. Happy Easter from Pasadena, California. The City of Roses. Thanks for tuning in, Lynn. Myra Cordero, Midland. Tony is eating a fire chile relleno burrito. You're tearing it up, huh, Tony? You're gonna eat all of it. You're not gonna share nothing, huh? I miss old MTV. I used to watch MTV when it was music television. So they would just play videos all day, just videos. Like, once in a while you hear the DJ, right? The MC. It wasn't a DJ, but the MC. and then it got ruined because shows and stupid shows and dumb shows. And you used to watch Beavis and Butthead. Not a lot, but yeah, I used to back then when it came out. Man in the Mirror was a good one. Yeah, that was a really good one. Got to look at yourself and make a change. Um, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm looking to make a change, right? So change starts with us, right? We always complain about the world. We complain about the president. We complain about the governor. We complain about the mayor, the politicians, the this, the that. But change starts with us. Like I have to be a better person. I have to try to improve. I have to, and then pay that forward, pass it forward, right? So we get comfortable in our complacency and just stick with that and want to blame everybody else. But we have the ability to shape our daily life, and it starts with the man in the mirror or the person in the mirror, right? The woman in the mirror, the man or the woman in the mirror, right? So me, you looking at the mirror saying, hey, I want to be a better person. I want our world to be a better place. So let's transform it through dialogue and talking and conversing, not by shooting schools, not by canceling people, not by hating people that you disagree with, right? Not by calling everybody racist, not by being an idiot, right? By positive dialogue and having conversations with people and understanding people. What's your favorite classic movie? Godfather. I always think about this question. It's Godfather. It's tough. It's a lot of good ones, but Godfather for sure. I think that's a perfect movie. The way they made it, everything about it is perfect. The first three movies, I've never watched anything past. So like movies, like they always has like a bunch of movies. I've like Rocky, right? Rocky and Creed, all this Creed crap. I've only watched three Rockies: Rocky one, Rocky two, Rocky three. Everything after that is trash. I don't watch it. Creed is just Rocky. There's just different generations. I don't watch Creed because it's just trash. Um, what's the driving movie? What's that called? The driving movie where they Fast and Furious. So I probably watched two, and I know there's like 10 more, and I haven't seen them because it's the same story. They just regurgitate, recycle the same theme. Right? So I don't watch that stuff. Rambo, yeah, same. Rambo, I watch, the first few, and then that's it. I kind of give. Same thing with Godfather. First three, and then after that, well, I'm not interested. It's funny, right? Funny how that works. Urban Cowboy. Yeah, with John Travolta. What is that girl's name? Is it Deborah Winger, the girl in there? I loved the way they danced. I love how real that movie seemed to me, right? From the 80s. It seemed authentic. I remember that place Gillies was like a trill country place, right? In I don't know, Dallas or somewhere. I don't know if it got burnt down or if they sold it. But that guy Gilly from that, he recently passed away. I think from the past couple years, he passed away. So Roadhouse, yeah, like where he just rips that guy's throat out. As a great movie. Not the best acting, obviously, right? But it was a anything with Patrick Swayze in it, it's gonna be a good movie, right? So Roadhouse, good movie. Yeah, back in the day. Cocktail with Tom Cruise, that was good, and Dirty Dancing. Yep. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Nobody. Menace to Society. Menace to Society. What I remember about that? That was a good movie. I remember watching it. Uh, Yeah, it's so realistic what goes on in the hood, right? And so just young people making bad decisions, want that quick, fast money to drive a cool car end up losing their life or end up doing stupid things, right? Because no father in the house, the government raised them, and just bad things happen. So sucks. Paulina Ramirez, your voice is so calming. I can see why you make people comfortable. Paulina, um, I've heard that a few times. Haven't seen Lulu. Malika, have a good night. Thank you very much. You have a good night. Appreciate you checking in from Canada. Stay blessed. We'll see you soon. Pulp Fiction. That was an interesting movie, right? It was a trip to watch Pulp Fiction when it came out. I remember going to the movies and watching it a long time ago. John Travolta, Samuel Jackson, a lot of stars, right, were in that movie. Very interesting. That was my first Quentin Tarantino movie that I've ever seen. Um, Brenda, I remember someone said they go to sleep with your lives on. Yeah, yeah, somebody did say that, right? As long as I'm not next to him, we're good. Mario Almada movies. Yeah, I remember the Almada brothers, right? It's always the same stuff, right? Just mafiosos and whatnot. So not the best acting, not the best movie production, not the best quality, but I watched a couple of them, and then it was the same story basically. Jason, Friday the 13th series. Yeah, I'll watch three of them, and then I haven't seen the rest ever since because it's the same thing. Same thing. An ex coworker could recite Pulp Fiction word for word. Wow. Wow. I'm like that with like Pretty Woman. I've seen it a thousand times, and I can probably not recite the whole thing, but I know like all the scenes. Anyways, it's 9:40, gang. Been talking for 2 hours. I've been talking too much. Holy jeez. Hopefully, you guys had a great Easter weekend with your family. Let's all have a great Monday and a great start to our week. Stay blessed. Thank you guys for joining me, spending some of your time here with me. You guys are awesome. I greatly appreciate you. Stay blessed. I'll be seeing you guys soon. I'll probably do a live this week, not tomorrow, but most likely like on Wednesday or Thursday. We'll have a conversation, and I'll just catch up with you guys then. Okay. So you guys have a good night. Thank you everybody that's here. All your names. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you, Irene, Danielle, Daniel, Cherie, beautiful Jess, Casey, Daniel from Texas, Malika, Carlotta. You guys have a good night. I love you guys. I appreciate you. We'll talk soon. Okay. Bye.